Hello, this is Cash Mirage. When the savior is the thief. Picture this. You're sitting in your corner office, feet up on the mahogany desk, watching 6 figures flow into your personal account every month. The kicker? None of it's actually yours. And the best part? Everyone thinks you're the company's savior. Meet Marcus Chen. Not his real name, obviously. The guy who pulled off what I call the most audacious payroll heist of the decade. 6 months, $500,000, and a Harvard MBA that existed only in his imagination. It started with a phone call on a rainy Tuesday morning in Portland. Sarah Mitchell, the overwhelmed CEO of TechFlow Solutions, was drowning. Her company had grown from 15 to 60 employees in 8 months. The HR department, non-existent. Payroll, a nightmare spreadsheet managed by her teenage nephew who'd just discovered energy drinks and late-night gaming. "We need help," Sarah confessed to her business mentor over coffee. "Our payroll is chaos. We're hemorrhaging money somewhere, but I can't figure out where." Enter Marcus Chen, or rather Dr. Marcus Chen, senior HR consultant, as his LinkedIn profile claimed. 15 years at Fortune 500 companies, Harvard MBA, testimonials from grateful clients, the whole package. His timing was surgical precision. Within hours of Sarah posting about her HR struggles in a CEO Facebook group, Marcus's message appeared in her inbox like a guardian angel wearing an Armani suit. "Sarah, I understand your pain completely. I've helped dozens of startups navigate exactly this challenge. Would you be open to a 15-minute call to discuss how I might help?" The call lasted 2 hours. Marcus spoke her language fluently. He understood her struggles, her sleepless nights, her fear of payroll errors that could sink the company. He had solutions for everything. Better yet, he could start immediately. Here's what I propose," Marcus said, his voice carrying that perfect blend of confidence and humility. "Let me take over your entire payroll operation for 3 months, no upfront fees. You only pay me if you're completely satisfied with the results." Sarah felt the weight lift off her shoulders for the first time in months, finally. A professional who understood. What Sarah didn't know was that Marcus Chen had never worked for a Fortune 500 company. He'd never attended Harvard. Hell, he'd barely graduated high school. But he had something more valuable than credentials: an intimate understanding of human psychology and an uncanny ability to research his marks. Marcus had spent weeks studying Sarah's company. He knew their revenue streams, their client base, their struggles. He'd read every interview Sarah had given, every blog post she'd written. By the time they spoke, he knew her better than her own accountant did. The setup was masterful in its simplicity. Marcus convinced Sarah that centralizing payroll operations was crucial for growth. He needed admin access to their banking systems, of course. How else could he streamline the process? He needed to review all employee files to ensure compliance, naturally. "I'll set up a dedicated payroll account," Marcus explained during their second call. "Industry best practice. It creates a clear audit trail and prevents accidental overspending from your main operating account." Sarah practically wept with relief. This man was saving her company. The new payroll account was real. The routing numbers checked out. The bank statements looked legitimate. What Sarah didn't realize was that while she could view the account, only Marcus could actually move money out of it. His first month was flawless. Every employee was paid correctly and on time. The payroll reports were detailed, professional, color-coded masterpieces that made Sarah's previous spreadsheet look like cave paintings. Marcus had even identified several payroll inefficiencies that saved the company money. "This is exactly what we needed," Sarah told her business partner. "Marcus is worth every penny." By month 2, Marcus was practically part of the family. He attended team meetings via video call, contributed to strategic planning sessions, even helped recruit new employees. Sarah trusted him completely. Why wouldn't she? He was delivering results. That's when the slow bleed began. It started small, a few hundred here and there, buried in legitimate-looking expense categories. Payroll processing fees, compliance consulting, system integration costs. The amounts were reasonable, the descriptions plausible. Sarah barely glanced at them. Month 3 brought larger withdrawals, quarterly tax remittance, benefits administration, HR software licensing. Marcus had trained Sarah to expect these expenses. He'd even sent her detailed explanations in advance, complete with industry benchmarks proving how much money he was saving her. The beauty of Marcus's con wasn't just the money he was stealing, it was the value he was genuinely providing. The payroll system really was more efficient. The compliance issues he'd identified were real problems that needed solving. He was simultaneously robbing and saving the company. By month 4, Marcus was pulling $20,000 a month in fake fees. Sarah's company was growing rapidly, generating more revenue than ever. The payroll account showed healthy balances. Everyone was happy. Except Marcus was getting greedy. Month 5 brought the first red flag. A new employee noticed her pay stub showed deductions for benefits she'd never signed up for. When she asked Marcus about it, he promised to look into the discrepancy. The deductions disappeared the next month, along with an apologetic email about system glitches during rapid scaling. But the employee mentioned it to her boyfriend, who happened to be an accountant. He suggested she keep copies of all her payroll documents, just in case. Month 6 was Marcus's downfall, not because he got careless, but because he got cocky. He'd convinced Sarah to let him handle year-end bonuses, $100,000 in performance incentives that Marcus promised to distribute based on sophisticated metrics he'd developed. The bonuses were real, but Marcus's cut was substantial. Too substantial. The accountant boyfriend ran the numbers. Something wasn't adding up. Sarah, I think you need to see this, he said, spreading printouts across her desk on a cold February morning. Your payroll expenses are running 30% higher than industry standard. That's not possible with the efficiency gains Marcus claims to be delivering. The audit took 3 days. The fraud was breathtakingly comprehensive. Marcus hadn't just stolen money, he'd created an entire parallel universe of fake expenses, phantom employees, and imaginary compliance costs. The total damage? $473,000 over 6 months. But here's the twisted part that still keeps Sarah awake at night. Marcus really was good at his job. Strip away the theft, and he'd genuinely improve their payroll operations. He'd saved them money in some areas while robbing them blind in others. He was simultaneously their biggest asset and their greatest threat. The FBI caught Marcus 3 weeks later, living in a beachfront condo in Costa Rica, apparently planning to disappear forever. He'd done this before, they discovered. 7 companies over 4 years. Always the same pattern. Solve their problems while slowly bleeding them dry. Sarah's company survived, barely. The insurance covered some of the losses. Investors stepped in to keep them afloat, but the trust was gone. Every vendor, every consultant, every new hire now faced scrutiny that bordered on paranoia. The scariest part, Sarah told me 6 months later, wasn't that he was a criminal. It's that he was genuinely talented. In another universe, he could have been our best hire ever. Marcus Chen pleaded guilty and got 18 months in federal prison. He'll be out soon, probably crafting another perfect LinkedIn profile for another desperate CEO who just needs someone to solve their problems. The lesson isn't about better background checks or stricter financial controls, though those help. It's about recognizing that the most dangerous predators don't look like predators at all. They look like saviors. They solve your problems while creating bigger ones. They earn your trust while stealing your future. Sometimes the person who seems too good to be true really is exactly what you need, just not in the way you think. If you enjoyed this video, please support the channel, like, share, and subscribe. Please write a comment what you think about this video.